feast on any feast. Doesn't matter, we'll snack on their own. The stragglers we didn't consume.
Bring it out!
In our sacrifice,
You nobblers!
they scream and they run, but there's far enough fun as the ogres are coming together. There's jumping on knees, feeling our
Tearing when we kill all the power and that's what we do it for. Happy over Tyrant Day, yes. This day's all about me. All about me.
Doesn't matter, we'll snack on them
All about the tyrant, the over tyrant.
in our sacrifice. They scream and they run,
All
but there's
these
far
noblars coming to my
ogres are
town.
coming together. There's jumping on knees, feeling our
Make sure you pay homage to the god. Or I'll smack you with my scepter. Give me your gold shot. Give me your meat and all the goodies. And I need gold. You can never have too much gold. I've got so much I don't even need to walk. That's why I became a streamer.
They scream and they
Has
run,
needs to
but
fight
there's
in this day and age when you got
ogres are coming together.
it's perfect for me. I already don't walk anyway because I'm too rich. So why do I need to even stand up for street? Everybody knows streamers. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone! You have no idea how hard this thing is.
The sound of
Where them optics scrap gave me so I can fucking see.
doesn't
That's my hat.
we'll snack on them. The stragglers we didn't consume. In our sacrifice,
Where the Noblars carrying me? Why, that's what you're for, Chad. Don't carry me. You're my Noblars. No complaining. Or you get the Titan stick. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I apologize, not to you, but to me, that I started so late. Because think of all that money I could have had. I started a little later than I intended, as it took some difficulties getting my gut properly sated. I feel wrong if I don't look rich enough. I understand for those that couldn't be here this evening, which is why I'll come back in the day so that they have to give me things. Because it's not about making sure that you get to enjoy yourselves, it's about making sure that I get enough from you. You gotta pay your tolls or I'll eat you, Chad. I'll gobble you all up. And not in a Valentine's Day way, but more in a Thanksgiving way. But I chose to show up today instead of Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving has the word giving in it, and that word is allergic to most ogres. We don't even have a word for it in Grumboth. I'm the over tyrant. I do what I want. Like looking in a mirror. Tell you what, since I'm the over tyrant, only the over tyrant can gainsay the over tyrant. And I'll say, we'll play SFO, Greasus, if we get 10 gift subs because greed is good.
Know why we're here.
Meat, loot.
It all belongs to us.
What benefits does SFO grant us? Well, we've got this. Trade Lord, Greasus Tribe Stealer, Drake Crush, Gate Crasher, Horde Master, Goldtooth, the shockingly obese. We have an extended tech tree and gain experience for units plus 50% against Ogre Kingdoms for every tyrant. All right, let's see what other changes we've got from SFO. So everyone has their price. Looks like it's been buffed a little bit. Oh, it gets rid of immune to psychology. Also pretty big stat debuff. We've got unstoppable charge. Is that new? No, that's not new. Pump harder, lads. Oh, they gave pump harder, lads to Greasus. Also, holy shit, Greasus is like booking it. Look how fast he's going. Look at those Noblars push. See, we got some basic physical resistance. I'm about to Tokyo drift all over these guys. They changed the scrappers? No. Scrappers are the same. Noblar. Oh, Noblars have anti-large? Why? Why do Noblars have anti-large? That's so strong. What is their anti-large? Okay, it's a bonus of 5, so it's not too crazy, but still, that's really funny. Why am I fighting in slow motion? Ah, a proper Valentine's Day celebration. Isn't this how you celebrate Valentine's Day? This is what this is what them slims are talking about when they say earning your what is it? Earning your red flag or whatever it is. Pretty sure this is what they meant. Ah, your Bloodwing. Ah. Just kick that saber tusk in the face.
Iron guts. Find a meal. Greasus gold. Incinerate.
Everyone has their price. Like me, it's gift subs.
Hungry. Greasus gold.
All polls, every poll for today must allow bribery. So says the over tyrant.
The glory of flame.
That lad's booking it. Make him well done,
Fire.
Lord Mazdamunchi. capture the Maw's butthole? Alright. Someone wants a lore fact about Yetis for no particular reason. Here's a lore fact about Yetis for you. Yetis, back in the day, according to the butchers, used to be ogres like us. But
Commissioner cheered. X300.
thank you for the bits. Yetis used to be ogres like us. But when we were traveling to our modern home in the mountains of Morn, we passed through the ancient giant lands. And in the ancient giant lands, they're much higher up. They're much higher up than most mountains. Not quite as high as those mountains of heaven. But these mountains over here were bigger. And they were so big that the peaks scraped the skies. And because the peaks scraped the skies, it meant that there was a lot of weird things up there, a lot of weird dust. Most of it picked up by the impact of the Maw. And all that warpstone dust started to do weird things to some of the lads, making them grow fur and giving them long fangs. Most of us decided it was too weird, and there wasn't enough meat, so we left for new lands. But many stayed behind, and those that stayed behind turned into them Yetis. If the Maw was made by Warpstone, how often do Skaven get into it with the ogres? Well, the Maw was originally Warpstone, but since then it's turned into something much worse, being a giant living fleshy mouth in the ground. However, there are still copious amounts of Warpstone that appear around it constantly in what is known as the Warpstone Desert, hence the name. That's why the Skaven often go into the Warpstone Desert, because they mine it, always trying to get more, and more, something the ogres can sympathize with. The ogres don't care much for the ratties, but we tolerate them. Well, unless they come into our mountains, but that's why we use saber tusks to hunt them down and eat them. All right, the butcher fact. So let me tell you how a new butcher is made. Whenever a new ogre runt is born, sometimes we can tell that they've got the power of the Maw about them. You can tell that they've got that magic gibbons. So when that happens, the butchers can detect it. So what the butcher will do is the butcher will take the runt as their own to raise it. And to teach the runt about the Maw, they'll take a big old bite out of it. They'll pick up the little runt and they'll go, ah, and take a big bite out of their stomach and eat it. And then the muling babe will be force-fed a diet of meat and meat and meat until it's nice and stuffed. And all that meat will get it to heal. And as it heals, it'll heal even stronger than it already was. And it'll learn the ways of the Maw from its foster parent. Have some money. Did I read somewhere there's going to be an update soon for Total War Warhammer? There should be very, very soon. They said that they were going to do patch 2.4 before patch 3.0, which means that 2.4 should be coming out either this month or next month. You know what? You know what would actually be a really cool mechanic, though I don't know if it'd actually be doable. It'd be a cool mechanic if ogres could do a version of military access where they give you military access through their lands, but like they charge you a tax for it. So like it's only for a limited time. Or it comes with some kind of other downside. Granted, that should probably just be like a universal mechanic, but it'd be a really cool ogre specific mechanic To be like, yeah, sure, you could pass through my lands for 5 turns for money. Oh, Ratwood, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a really cool idea. Being able to make offerings to the Great Maw or the Firemouth. So like get Firemouth offerings. Which race do ogres find the most tasty? Most of my research indicates that the most liked race to feast upon for the ogres is apparently halflings. I want to put down a camp, but where? I think we'll put it here to block this avenue. Too close. Oh wait, I don't have enough money.
I got gold. I got gems. I got everything. Bosses.
Ah, we have a gluttony stance? Costs, wow, minus 25 meat generated per turn and minus 50 growth for enemy provinces. But we get minus 20, but we get upkeep reduction. That is actually hilarious.
Oh, I'm hungry for some cafe and tenders. Some of the firepower. The more coals, immolate them. Volcanic fury. Hungry.
Push through, you gets.
Fattest, strongest, richest. The older tyrant, eternal. Hungry, elves are dry. Iron guts.
Get 'em, mods.
On it. Yeah, yeah. Noblars attack. Oh yes. Guts out, boys. Leg it.
Bite off their legs. If Long John Silver from Treasure Planet was an ogre, what specific type of ogre would he be? Oh, Long John Silver. What? Sadie. Sadie. Hey. 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 Come here. Come here, it's okay. Come here. Come here.
I'll smell ya. Fire is life.
I love the Noblars saying "I'll smell ya" like it's a threat. But to be fair, if I was being like very intimately and close to me, heavily sniffed by a small goblin-like creature with a large nose, I too would be very uncomfortable. So I guess it is a decent threat. Lore fact on the Keeper of Secrets, maybe something about Nakari that isn't a headliner. Bitch!
We're going conquering.
Get owned by the Noblar squad.
No good.
Anyway, back to the Keepers of Secrets. Here, I'm feeling nice today, so I will go ahead and read you their entire set here. Keepers of Secrets, also known as the Slayers of Slanesh, the Feasters of Pain, and the Great Horned Ones. All right, listen up, chat.
Till everything's mine.
A Keeper of Secrets is a ruiner of purity, a despoiler of the faithful, and a harbinger of damnation. It draws strength from the corruption of others and feasts upon sin in excess as a mortal might sup fine wines and sweetmeats. To a Keeper of Secrets, fear and lust are the most succulent of dishes, but any mortal rapture provides sustenance, particularly if the victim can be propelled from the heights of one to the depths of another. Nothing is more delectable to a keeper than the act of snatching a prideful popinjay from the adulation of his followers, drowning him in stark terror, then returning him, broken-minded and wallowing in his own involuntary filth, to the mockery of the comrades who once roared his praises. No two keepers of secrets possess identical features. Indeed, the Liber Malefic claims that the appearance of each is sprung from Slaaneish's capricious whim at the time of the demon's manifestation. Certainly, there is a great deal of variance between these greater demons. Some are endowed with a decidedly bovine aspect, whilst others have a beguiling and androgynous facial structure that belies a corrupt and debauched heart. All are many-limbed and jewel-eyed, sinuous in movement and brutal in deed. A keeper of secrets is a terrifying foe to face, delighting in exquisite pain, the caress of claw through skin and muscle, bone and organ. Its enormous razor-edged claws can tear apart a heavily armored knight with one graceful slash, while its hands can crush bone with horrifying ease. No other demon can match a keeper's fluid grace in battle. Its actions are a ballet of exquisitely performed blows. Every strike by claw or blade is bestowed with almost delicate precision. A sinuous caress becomes a rib-crushing embrace, and a casual swipe becomes a drawn-out gouge which spills organs and blood upon the ground and all manner of pleasing patterns. Nor are the Keepers of Secrets' lethal talents limited to purely physical combat. Formed of the stuff of chaos and gifted with subtle and insidious magic of the Dark Prince, Keeper of Secrets is an accomplished spellcaster, racking the enemy with spasms of agony, clouding their minds with dark whispers of glory, and creating insidious illusions of their worst fears and greatest desires. A Keeper of Secrets delights in using its guileful and malign magics to turn friend upon friend, enamoring and englamoring the foe with tricks and illusions to cloud the mind. Those few brave mortals who would face up to a Keeper of Secrets must be pure of heart and mind, for such a monster is surrounded by many seductive enchantments that lull the conscious will and deaden the senses. Many heroes have been unable to resist their own primal urges and desires, while the greater demon of Slaanesh toys with them, dismembering them with exhilarating delicacy and precision. Keepers of Secrets have no fear or pain of injury to themselves. Keeper of Secrets have no fear of pain or injury themselves, and every sensation, be it painful or pleasurable, provokes from it only exhilarated squeals and cries that assail not only the senses, but also the fundamental pillars of reason itself. Keepers of Secrets consume the souls of those whom they slay, delicate dainties that further empower Slaanesh. As such, to fight a Keeper of Secrets is to risk not merely a terrible and agonizing death, but also tempt eternal damnation. It is said that Keepers of Secrets favor the soul stuff of elves above that of all other races, which is why this should be so is unclear, but no realm suffers as greatly from the predations of Slaaneshi demons as does the Isle of Ulthuan. There you go. What differentiates Hashut from the other gods? So all the gods are pretty unique in their own ways. Hashut's area of influence is Hashut is the god of greed and tyranny. So he is a god that is very much all about domination in all of its forms, dominating resources, dominating wills, just all the things. He does not care much for anything. Like, Hashut despises weakness in all forms. He despises mercy. He despises anyone that is not proving themselves to be the absolute mightiest of whatever it is they may be doing, which can make him relatively frightening in a lot of ways. But other things about Hashut, Hashut is the one and only god of the Chaos Dwarfs. Atarak 9663, good to see you. And he is also a god that he talks to the Chaos Dwarfs. Not talks to, but he influences them very heavily. So he has taught them many secrets about demons and about how to dominate demons and utilize them and other things. I think we're pretty much done I'm not gonna drag out everything. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna play y'all a small teaser, just a little teaser, of a video that's coming out this week that I'm really excited for. A lot of hard work and effort went into it. So I think y'all should, hopefully you'll really like it. It's kind of the first big lore video we've had in a hot minute. So I'm just gonna play I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'm just gonna give y'all like a taste, and then we'll probably do a raid and everything after that. So without further ado, I would like y'all to get just a fun little teaser of a lore video that's coming later this week. So please enjoy this.
There are few things as universal to the human experience as looking up into the night sky to peer at the celestial bodies hovering above us. Regardless of where one might reside on the earth or what period in history it may be, the stars and planets have always been there to mystify and guide humanity's understanding of the cosmos. Whether using their alignment and movement to track time, inspire mythology, or even attempt to glimpse the future, the heavens have been the key to numerous forms of knowledge. This becomes even more true within the Warhammer world, where the tracking of the celestial bodies is directly tied to predicting the future and understanding one's own fate, perhaps even altering it. So let us dive into the astronomy and astrology of this strange world, with today's video focusing on the solar system in which it exists. Turning back the clock to over 15,000 years ago, the world, sometimes known as Malice or the Fated World, but for the sake of ease, I'll call it Malice going forward, careened through the darkness of space in orbit around the star known as Sol, which is significantly larger and hotter than Earth's sun. In ancient times, the planet spun quite far from the warm embrace of Sol, resulting in ice covering much of the surface, except for the equatorial band where primordial jungles thrived. Then, the Old Ones arrived upon their silver starships, these mysterious entities looking upon the pale blue dot and finding it full of promise to fulfill their grand designs. However, the solar system had been formed from the natural and chaotic process that shaped the entire cosmos, which required correction to suit the Great Plan. So, the Old Ones began their godly works and crafted the first of their servants, known to us as the Slawn. Alongside their cold-blooded children, they performed the impossible and shifted the planet closer to the warm embrace of Sol. This initially unbalanced the other planets, but such was their power that the Old Ones moved them too. With this act, they created the perfect harmony of the spheres and their orbits around the sun. For the specifics of how the planets function after these adjustments, let us listen to Fenrir of Sapphiri's wisdom, the very same Fenrir who crossed the great ocean to aid the old world during the Great War against Chaos alongside the noble mages Teclis and Yurtle.
That's it. That's all you get. So I hope y'all are looking forward to that. Should be a really fun video. That's only like the first third-ish of it. So hopefully that piques your interest and everyone will be excited to check that out later.